are working overtime. There's smoke being laid down.
Oh, wow.
Terran have not been able to make a push onto the A point yet. They did clear out the bottom floor.
They're gonna get it. 10 seconds.
Let's see.
The VS are also 13
man.
seconds away from
Oh, Max is on the point. Infantry's on the point. It's not enough.
No.
Oh man. Alright, so there you go. VS
That
have got
was
themselves
close.
very close. Thing is, they still
and
have
VS
air dominance.
also just captured ISA mining operation, so they just went up by 2 more points.
Okay. Echo Valley's under
Jeez.
contention again. It's brutal going on here. But the important thing I like to see here from the neutral point is that the Mattherson got themselves hold of Esamir and have held on to it. It looks like the tier forces are now trying to re-attack Esamir Southern Reach, but they've got themselves the tech plant and they've got themselves the biolab. Tier forces got themselves the amp station, and that's how it's worked. So out of the 3 main fronts, it feels like Matheson's got like 2 of them and Miller's got the other. And in the middle, nothing's really moved because Esamir Munition Corps hasn't changed, Rime Analytics hasn't changed, and Tier's got themselves Octagon, but nothing's moved since that.
A
The
small
tech
group,
plant.
a small group
Ooh,
of
the tech plant, yeah,
TR
something
have
just
dropped
happened.
onto tech plant. Yeah, there's not many of them here. I see 1 squad, perhaps 2 inside. They're on the balcony.
Not fighting like
Yeah, I just saw that get contested. I was like, ooh, what's going on over there? There's still Vanu here, so
There's
yeah,
already an
just
immediate response.
a couple of
from
their guys
people.
just took a little peek in, saw what was going on.
It's mainly just
The rest of them are
scouts.
forming up,
They know how many now are defending, and that's the important thing. It's a small force.
which is a very small force, so they're going to be pushing it up here really
they're
shortly.
already responding very heavily off the tunnels. They're going to be jumping up the jump pad.
Yep. Here they are.
None of them are doing the MLG jump, however, which is disappointing. The MLG jump, if you're not sure what that is going from the jump pad and making it all the way to the top baronister in 1 jump. You can actually pull that off if you know what you're doing.
There's a medic trying to revive what engineers they have, but
They're being attacked from behind.
He
The
got
Max isn't
completely
paying
taken
attention
out.
to behind them.
TR's Air Force has also shut up here at the tech plant area and
They
is
can't do
trying to
anything.
take out whatever spawns.
It's no
they
nonsense
find.
gamers are also here. I can see the NNG tag.
that moment when you throw your final grenade as like I hope this does something. That's what
Yes.
just happened right there. It looks like the Vanu are going to be able to re-secure this.
Tell you
Dathon
what.
had no problem.
Depending how long the tier forces were here, if they wanted to deliberately elicit a response, like an overreaction, then that was successful. I mean, that's a positive way of looking at it.
Yeah, but TR also has 2 galaxies that are sitting here. I don't know what
Could
their
be that
goal
they're
is.
trying to take back ISA mining operations. I mean,
They
it could be
do
that
have a
they're-
bunch of air that's really nearby. It looks like they have a couple other sunders or galaxies that are on the way, and they have a huge air force that's at ISA mining. So I mean, they could make a push here if they really wanted.
attack that went on Esamir South has now fallen back, so the VS, in terms of what's going on, made a slight push. They got Esamir Southern Reach, and it's the fights going on between the Bulwark and Weapons Southern Reach now. It looks like the TR is going to get themselves ISA mining operations back. And in the north, the TR, when they were at Rime Analytics and Aurora Material Labs and Man Lake, that's all stabilised now. So it's now between Freyr Geothermal and the Freyr itself, and it's under contention now again.
There are a lot
Yep.
of VS here at Freyr. They managed to stop the TR doing anything behind them by getting on 1 point, and now we're trying to move themselves out to the other
Big
points.
T's and a lot of lightnings, but those lightnings are not going to do anything because VS have now got themselves 2 points, and I believe they're taking the 3rd. Yes, they are taking the 3rd point. This is going to be a very quick cap. If they
Oh my goodness. The geothermal, there's just that huge lightning crew that we were talking about earlier. It's still here. There's just like a ton of them. I feel like that's overkill.
They can't
but
use their
maybe
air
not.
force because the thing is, those lightnings don't have really any angle. They can't stop the double burster maxes on the roof of the spawn room of mining of geothermal. We're doing air denial, and the tier air force, while they're bombing to an extent, all the capture points bar A are actually internal inside. I don't feel the air and the lightnings are being that productive. I think infantry would be better. It's a minute 20 until Freyr goes. This is a 5-point base. This is really huge if they lose this. And
There's a
60
reason they're not
seconds.
responding. TR has put all of their people onto the tech plant and are trying to take the
ISA,
tech plant right now.
They're trying to take ISA at the moment.
Oh, but this is the
But-
problem.
but
Freyr
it looks like
geothermal is a
It looks like
fast
there are.
base.
They're sending in a huge crew to the sea point at the moment at Freyr. The Max just went in head first. He's clearing out the point. There's only two Vanu left. They're taken out. There's one Vanu that had to leave the point, but the light assault just took him out there. Let's see what's going on with the other points. A is also under contention. It looks like it's going to be cleared out, no problem. Yeah, they're not going to be able to hold that. And then
This
we
was
have...
important because the reason this was important is because if they didn't pull the save off right at the last moment, then what would have happened is the VS would have gotten themselves this base and they could have instantly redeployed to the tech plant, temporarily, help the other platoon or whatnot push off the tech plant and then come back here before the TR could have taken the base.
And at the tech plant, let's see. There's not a huge force here at the tech plant. I think the Vanu can come back and re-secure this. I mean, from that first initial push that we saw with the Vanu, how they held this point, like that was a defense for the tech plant. I don't see this as like a defense. It looks like DA is going to be able to pop down here, take out these guys. There's a Max that's up, but he's not. They have about like 3 Maxes, but they don't really have any support for him.
Thing is, at Freyr Amp Station, VS have got themselves Alpha back, and it's still 2 minutes 20 until they take the base. It's a very short timer. I don't see what the T are up to. Maybe they didn't want to give up. I mean, if you're attacking the tech plant,
I don't think they want to give up.
oh no, sorry. I should let me rephrase that. Sorry. I think if you're going to lose the Freyr Amp Station, and you're going to lose it, then do you want to lose it and then gamble on taking the tech plant, or do you pull out of the tech plant, save the amp station, and then go back to the tech plant for another attempt? I think that's what we're trying to get at.
Well, I think that they're going to have to make another attempt at the tech plant. The tech plant's going to go down right now. Vanu are making a massive push onto the point. They're taking down, they took down 3 or 4 of the soldiers that were left up. I think the TR were expecting them to come through the double doors, but they didn't. They went through the balcony. They only had 3 Maxes that were kind of holding that balcony area, and the Vanu are able to come back down here, clear those guys out. There's just a couple soldiers left. They're just taking their time, clearing them out.
Surprisingly, and this is shockingly, it's not the TR that are taking points back. Alright, finally they're taking A, but in the push to take A, they have lost Charlie. And now the VS are coming back to resupply Alpha from Charlie that they've just taken. Man, it's a merry-go-round at the moment for capture points, but the crucial thing is the Vanu still have 2 points. And they're going to lose, the TR are going to lose in 1 minute. And this is huge. If they lose this, it's not game over, but it's going to be so hard to get it back.
And I think that hopefully, it looks like the Vanu are only sending DA to re-secure the tech plant, which is a really good move for them. They can keep the pressure on at the fair points.
They have already re-secured the tech plant now.
Yeah, they've already re-secured the tech plant, but there's still some soldiers here from
I tell you what, right?
that are making an advancement
they're
onto
gonna take
onto the balcony.
The thing is, they're going to take Freyr Amp in 30 seconds. Alright, now this Charlie point is flipping. Let's have a look what's actually there. Don't think it's enough.
How are these guys spawning?
There's hard points. At
Oh,
the
they did have a Sunder. No, I'm talking about the tech plant, because there were just like a continual flow of Terran, and I was just like, looks like they had a Sunder, but the Vanu were able to take it out. And there's only 2 soldiers left, and they're gone.
So 30 seconds until Freyr Amp was about to be captured by the VS. A last-ditch force comes in and takes Charlie for the TR. Still under a lot of pressure by the VS. That's probably the last people that came from the spawn room. Although it looks like, even though they're extremely low on armor and health, they should be able to hold on to it. And this is very close stuff here. I mean, the VS can taste victory. They just need to get 1 point. Oh wow, and the TR's getting pushed off. There's no reinforcements coming in for the TR at Charlie. Okay, well, we've got some.
It looks to me like the TR reinforcements are coming in via their mosquitoes. I don't know if that's the air guys ditching their aircraft, or if they're just telling everyone to grab the fastest thing they can to get there.
It looks like Vanu have, they've landed on Bravo, some air pilots.
Yeah, the Terran had like a couple Mossies that landed, and they were trying to drop down and go from the balcony, or not the balcony, the top floor, but the Vanu have just been holding out. Although there's a couple Maxes that are rushing into the B point, they have
Big
about
push from the
6
ground
Maxes,
floor.
a ton of infantry just pushing, and The Vanu are trying to revive their soldiers left and right here, but they're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to hold against this, and the Terran are going to be able to take this C point. Wow, yeah, they sent a huge force.
They just decided, you know what, enough's enough. That may have been the tech plant attacking force, it may have been someone else, but the fact is they just said, that's it, we want the base back.
I don't think that was a tech plant force.
Probably
I think it was
someone
a different
else.
Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it didn't even look like the same group of people as far as like the way that they moved and worked together.
So the bulwark, nothing's happening in the south. It's 50-50 bulwark, 50-50 Weimar Southern Reach. They're just trying to outflank
The
each
C
other.
point is being flipped again. I think the Vanu are on it. Let's see. Yes, they have a huge force on the C point. They're going to need some support here, though. Looks like they have a couple of squad beacons that have been dropped on the walkway. And they have quite a few soldiers that are on the walkway, which is actually going to be really beneficial for them. The thing that I worry about a lot of times is people try to stay in that C building, and it's just grenade heaven, which can be really bad for you.
It's fairly secure though from Air Force. I mean, if you
That's
stay
true.
inside, you can't get a good angle in the windows. I guess is what I'm trying to make. And they've got good cover on the wall as well.
Yeah, so they're still
STR.
holding down the C point with 3 minutes left. They're going to need to get some of these other points if they really want to make it go faster, but they're going to need some support. Right now, the Terrans still have quite a bit of Smossies in the air, which is helping them gain the advantage of just being able to see what's going on.
Well,
and taking out those squad beacons as well.
Even holding Charlie, even if you lose the whole cap on right, and you keep holding Charlie,
Yeah,
you're
but
preventing
look at this
Freo.
force that's coming into Charlie. Like they're not going to be able to hold off against this.
The tier forces, they've obviously worked their way around from Bravo,
Mm-hmm.
and the thing is, you can just stay from back up and just throw AV grenades, bounce them off
Yep.
the ledge of the door, and then they go, and then it just the explosive effects. It doesn't matter if you've got flak on.
Yeah, and that's what I worry about when you're holding in the C point.
Nothing makes me smile when I see on the minimap there's about 30 people in a small room, and I'm heavy assault with grenade bandoliers. Just grenade, get the rocket launcher, fire the rocket launcher, and maybe pull out the MCG and just have a happy fun time.
What do you think about the opposite of that, or holding up on ledges, and then once the Terran kind of push in, you guys jump down behind them and flank them while your guys
Ooh, that
that
would
are
be
still
nice.
on the C point
Yeah,
stay down?
lure them in and
could
then
toss
drop
in
down
some
above
grenades.
them.
Yeah,
that would
exactly,
be work
yeah.
really, really well, but they haven't done that.
Maybe some C4 on the sides of each of those doors if they would have
Rather-
left some
yeah.
guys up on the balcony.
Rather
But we
than
didn't
having
see
a
any
whole
of that.
squad. No, rather than having the whole squad, you're totally right. Rather than having the whole squad, maybe even 6 guys is enough, and have
Just
the rest of them
stay
on
on
the
the
top.
C point just to kind of bring them in and
Yeah.
distract them, right? Yeah.
The
And then you
VS
can
now
just
have
put
2
down
squads.
your C4 or your grenades down at the doorways where they're all kind of bombarding in. It's,
He has 2 squads,
but,
sorry?
but it looks
The
like
VS now has 2 squads pushing on ISA Southern Camp and the Bulwark. They are both now being countered by TR squads.
What's going on ISA Munitions Corp?
I haven't been over there. I'll head over there now.
yeah, I'll actually go. Ooh, there's a strange Vanu force that's like in the middle of nowhere. What is going on over there?
Tell you what, the value force on Charlie Point, they're definitely holding their own. There's lots of res going, that's taking a long time for them to get pushed off.
I don't see really anything going on in munitions. Yeah, I don't see anything
Finally,
going on in
TR pushes
munitions.
them off. 20 seconds until they can go to geothermal.
We call this tactical superiority.
It's very low key at munitions. They're holding the A point. The A point's getting flipped back to TR at the moment, so it's nothing. Nothing too
Okay.
big.
Okay.
It seems like both teams have like a very, very small amount of people over there. What's going on at Bulwark though?
I'm just here now. There is a large VS armor presence with a couple galaxies, lots of people on point. I think this might be as many as 3 squads of VS down here.
Very nice.
Right, we're having a look at the bulwark. Yeah,
The
Yeah.
TR is just crashing out of the spawn room with smoke
See
right
that?
now. They're heading out.
Yep, and the Vanu just surround the area. They have vehicles galore. It's really... They don't really have a diversity of infantry.
the vehicles aren't going to do anything. The thing is, they're going for the
Yeah.
double building, because if they get the double building, they can kill off the Vanu Sundra, which is deployed on the west side.
And it's smoking at the moment.
got-
It looks like it's getting repaired, but they do have another Sunder that's coming in. But the Mossy is kind of just...
You look at the minimap,
bombarding
there's a
them.
lot of tier numbers in that double building. They've got the double building. And
Well, here comes the air support. Check this out. huge force from the Terran Republic with Mossy support, Liberators.
Oh wow,
They're just
double-libbed
bombarding all the vehicles, taking all the
Sunder.
vehicles out from the
Right,
surrounding
that
area.
Terran push is just now
They're
pushing
gonna take
on the
out
capture
all
point.
of these Sunderers. The Sunderers have there's no way they're gonna survive at all. The Vanu force that's inside of the A point is very minuscule. I don't think that they're gonna be able to hold off an infantry push here, but we'll see how it goes.
Wow, I mean, I thought it would be Mattherson that would dominate the air, but it seems like it's just Miller today.
It seems like they took, like you were saying, you take Frere and you utilize that resource advantage that you do have with that extra air.
Yeah.
Whereas the Vanu the Vanu took the tech plant, so they've been trying to really utilize
their mag riders
the
and
ground,
their
the ground support that they have.
It also feels like maybe Matheson's deciding to play more in the ground, inside the points, and go for more infantry in the ground, or more people on the ground rather than in the air.
These revive grenades, there's literally, it's the most insane thing when you're watching this.
It just doesn't work. The problem with revive grenades is it's a desperate move. If you throw a revive grenade and all your guys are dead, what you should do, what you should do, right, Mike, is if you throw a revive grenade and then it reses all your people, you tell them, hold on, wait for the 5-second marker, right? And do it in the 5 second, not immediately. Because everyone's immediately going to firing on you when you see the animation like you're about to res. And then you charge in there, Rambo, going, ah! And then everyone turns to you, kills you, and then while they're distracted, then you res. Because you res when they're facing you.
Whoever's getting revived shouldn't be a medic. It should be a different person, because then you can also still throw another revive grenade out again if necessary. So I think your strategy, I like your strategy. Having like a guy that like revives, he's like, okay, let me go first, and then everyone chases me, and then. But I don't even think like that little crew of people that would have gotten revived would have survived. There's just too much.
Well, you need a distraction. I think that's
here.
the main thing. If you're corpse camped, you need a distraction when you res someone. You can't just expect them to, accept the res and then be able to combat at half health.
That was a good resecure for the Terran, though. It was a fantastic resecure. They brought in their air. They completely obliterated all the spawn points by the Vanu, and they were able to clear out the A point no problem.
That is a lot of beacons.
Isa. What is going on? Ooh, there's an air fight.
So we're at Freyr, and I see 4 beacons at Freyr, B point, which must be a platoon, and the entire platoon just dropped in, period. And all 4. So, I mean, although I didn't catch all of it, that was a lot. And now we've got 2 TR Galaxies. I don't know if they've got people on it. Oh yes, now counter drop by the TR. Yeah. On the Bravo point, they have no idea what's in there. There's too many, although there's not going to be any maxes. Maybe the TR could do something with their... Oh, but that's double pounder maxes. That's not going to be the right type of max. That's right. Okay, there's one anti-infantry max. He's having a field day, but he has no backup. Where's his friends? Oh wow, okay, so there's lots of Vanu again in Freyr Amp Station, and again they're on B point. It seems to be their favourite spot today.
They're also on C, but I think C might be getting taken back.
I mean, at the end of the day, so long as they're fighting at Freyr Amp, that means they're, Manny and everywhere else is going to be safe. They don't need to worry. And if maybe you get lucky and maybe you take the base, and that's a huge flip from points. Speaking of which, we are 37 minutes to go. Why don't you give us a point update?
The VS is up by 5 points, which is a change of 3 small bases, because obviously if you take a point, the other team also loses a point. So if Miller wants to get back into this, they have to capture 3 small bases or something that would give them the equivalent of that.
Geothermal would help, ice and mining operation would help, maybe Echo Valley. They can do it. There are 3 small bases, maybe even Weimar Southern Reach. I mean, it can be done.
And we've seen what they can do with that Air Force that they have. Wherever that crew goes, which they have like about 2 pods of aircrafts that are just, wherever they go, they secure the area around, and if they just send some infantry to help support, they're good to go. But it looks like Vanu are making a massive push onto Esamir munitions. They have quite a few vehicles that are surrounding the area. They're setting up spawn points all around it. Meanwhile, they still are holding out at ISA tech plant as well, keeping that secure. I think most of the people that are spawning there are heading over to ISA munitions. I'm surprised that they're not taking the southern camp first, but I guess they're just like, we need to advance further onto Freyr. Maybe that's what they're trying to do.
I hate that Sunder deployment at the Esamir Munitions Corp. On the ammo sun side, on the east, it's just so exposed from the road to the air and everything. Yes, it's infantry covered. We can already see that Mozzies are beginning to attack it.
Yep. They need to bring in a little bit more support because if like we saw in the past, if the Terran decide that they want to bring in all of those Mossies once more, they're going to be able to secure the area no problem.
Double repair Sunders, however, and without Liberator support, it's not going to die. I hear the Liberators, but they're getting flanked, so I guess they're going to have to back off. So for the time being, and also it was dual Walkers, or sorry, one Walker, one Basilisk on the deployed Sunder. Thing is, you need a Sunder because of the platoon and the way that it works. You can't just have a squad Sunder, but if you're like a squad of 12 people, sometimes rather than deploying the Sunder, having it so far away, and then it being picked off by a lone wolf, is to take the Sunder with you onto the point and just stay in it and man the gun. That way your squad can spawn on you. I find that it also adds like a force multiplier because you can put like a Fury on the top and maybe even a Bulldog, and that's extremely good splash damage.
Mattherson VS have pushed back hard onto Frey Ramp Station. They own B and C, and they are right now attempting to take A point.
Very nice. I'm just going
is,
to check out...
If you're an outfit of 12 people...
I'm just going to check out the tech plant really quick, because it looks like the Terran do have the A point flipped on their to their advantage. They have quite a force here as well. And they are completely outpopping the Vanu at this point.
Now, here's another interesting thing. I'm just wondering along the lines... There's 5 platoons per team, right? And they all have their own kind of mission or role, or you do this and you're here, or maybe kind of area. If you find that, hey guys, the platoon in the north, you know, at Frey Ramp, we're having a hard time, we're not doing very well, you know, we can barely hold our own, do you rotate? Do you send, well actually we'll send our better platoon there, and then you can come and just defend this point elsewhere? I mean, do you transfer around?
Well, we've seen a bit of that. We've seen a bit of that. I mean, whenever we were at the Aurora Materials Lab at one point, I believe the 903rds came in and they completely wiped it out. They wiped out that area, whereas like NNG was originally in that area holding Freyr. So like you did see that backup coming that direction. But I'm wondering what's going to happen here at ISA Tech Plant, because like you said, there's a massive battle going on at Freyr. And what's the update over there? How many points do the Vanu have?
The Vanu have 2 points. They're 2 minutes
until
the capture the base.
And 2 minutes to the countdown. Over here at ISA Tech Plant, there's about 5 minutes and 30 seconds. There's a massive, like there's just tons of TR here. And I'm wondering if they're going to need...
They actually hacked a vehicle turn, but they have not yet pulled any vehicles out.
They haven't pulled any vehicles yet. So that's what I'm curious about, is what are these guys going to do here? Are they going to just abandon and help and have to go back and resecure Freyr? Or are they going to say, screw that, we're going to stay here at ISA and hope that we get this point?
Well, the TR, because they're choosing to keep their air force at Freyr, should take A. There's no reason they can't take A because it's so exposed.
Oh, A is open, yeah, it's very exposed.
Now they've got Charlie, which means A and Charlie, and then that's it. It's game done. It doesn't matter how many of them are defending Bravo and how pain in the backside it is to take it back. You're containing them. That's fine. It's not perfect, but it's doable. Now, as far as the tech plant's concerned, you're right. 66 to 34. All right. If Freyr gets really bad, give me a call and we'll warp over. But I want to see what happens at the tech plant. I mean, this would flip it around.
I just watched this tank get like this prowler get completely obliterated by lightning. And the lightning guy is like, sweet. He pops out, repairs it.
So we've got Furiosus from Innie here, and there's another mess from Innie Elite. So yes, Innie Elite is at the tech plant, and they are fighting with the VS from Mattherson.
And VS is mostly Das Anfall that's at this point. It seems like they have been the saviors of this. And Das Anfall's not actually sending their full crew here. They actually have, which Charlie? They have Charlie Squad that's still over on doing a forward push at Munitions Corp. They're not even sending back those guys to the ISA Tech plant at the moment.
This is sketchy because the Vanu have pulled in a lot of lightnings on the vehicle bay. There's no way that the TR force can pull vehicles here unless they go for the spawn room terminal.
Yes, so the Delta Squad
VS
for
are now
the Delta
flipping
Squad
all 3 points at ISA. I'm sorry, at Freyr Ramp Station. It is 36 seconds until it caps.
The Delta Squad for DA is all the lightnings that you're seeing right there. I'm assuming that they just were like, hey, get some vehicles, dudes, and so that's what we've been seeing. Terran is trying to pull in. Oh, it's on fire, and it completely gets taken out. They were trying to get in a gauge shield diffuser Sunderer, but they weren't able to. Because of the Vanu. They have a huge armor column.
6 seconds.
And the
1
Terran
second.
are not. I don't think the Terran are going to have to hold this with their life.
Done.
They have no spawn points. They have 3 minutes left on the hack here, and the Vanu are going to... I'm wondering if DA is going to actually send back their Charlie squad to come help secure this, or if they're going to keep... Yep, they did. Okay, so Charlie squad is spawning into... They've completely recalled. They're in the spawn room right now. I'm guessing they're going to go through the tunnels possibly and make their way to the A point. They're sending in their whole crew here to come back and take this. This is going to be massive advantage for them if they get this.
Well, the problem is they've lost Freyr.
No, I mean if they get this re-secure.
Oh, yeah. If the Vanu secures... And there's no reason they shouldn't, because here comes the push now. Mega max pool. The tier can't get a contain on that tunnel, which means they're going to have a clean time moving up to the jump pad. Oh my god.
They have very minimal people that are watching the double doors at the moment, too.
That is just so many maxes.
The VS are bringing harassers into this place now.
The VS are also using their mag riders, and they're kind of getting a good angle in on the point. Tons of
all of the tier are watching the jump pad. The problem is they're being flanked from both sides.
Yep.
Oh man, this is painful. The tier can't hold this. They don't have the numbers. They don't have the vehicle support, and they've lost Freyr amp station. I don't know, man. There's no reason they should have lost Freyr amp station. They had good control of it. I wonder if they pulled people away, or whether or not the VS reinforced.
DA Zuggy, what are you doing? Oh! He's
okay, the Vanu harasser has made it up the staircase. It is on the capture point. He is afterburning on the capture point. He's just... Oh wow, okay, he's dead. Here goes the C4'd him. But the thing is, there's no way they can hold this for another 80 seconds.
Oh no.
There's another wave.
The Vanu are sending in more support.
Second wave.
They have the... Who is this? That are coming in to help them out. I can't see their names. It looks like CM...
It's
CML maybe? Is it
It's Ginyu Force from the south. They've just come in as well.
And I think Clan Magnus came in too as well. It's hard to see all the names, but I think that they also joined in.
To me, I'm looking at this right, and where's the beginning?
Oh, this is rough.
Very rough.
I mean, what do we have? Like 30 minutes left in the match?
It's not going good for the Miller Force. Basically, what's happening...
Okay, so 30 minutes left. How many points are they in advantage?
Well, I just wanted to let you guys know, while this was happening, the VS, almost unopposed, capped the bulwark.
Yep.
They are now 17 points up. They are 17 points up. That is a major facility, and I believe 5 small facilities.
So...
or you could do 2 major facilities.
Now, I don't know if this... I try not to make this an excuse, right? I'm just hypothesizing here. I know that from the roster for Miller, it is basically 1 squad per outfit. So Innie gets 1 squad, Cons gets a squad. There's a whole roster. 252 gets 1 squad. Dig T gets a squad. Whereas on the Mattherson side, DA gets 2 squads. 902 gets 2 squads. I'm just saying that maybe the cohesiveness of working together as a team is easier because you have 2 squads to play with.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. I mean, when I'm watching these squads roll together, you can definitely tell the changes within who's coming, like who's coming to the base and who's defending and who's attacking. Because at one point you were like, oh, I think it's these guys. I'm like, no, it can't be those guys because the way that they moved just wasn't the same. And like when you're watching these squads and these platoons, you can see that. You can kind of tell who's who based on like the movement that they use, the squad makeups that they have. And I'm kind of learning that as I'm watching these guys. And some of them I already know because I've casted matches with them in the past, or I've had them on Friday Night Ops, and it's just, yeah, definitely, I will say that that's a huge advantage for the Vanu sovereignty.
Well, looking at the map now, isolation is safe, ISO mining operations, there's nobody there. The VS, this is Mattherson, have just done a steady, consistent push in the south. They got the biolab, they got the southern reach in a hotly contested fight, and as you said, they got bulwark uncontested.
Something else I want to mention too is that Mattherson, a lot of these VS outfits are old school PlanetSide outfits, and some of them they kind of already have that relationship with one another for communication. I don't know what Miller's like, and I don't know if like when you hop onto Miller, if you see a lot of outfits kind of talking together and communicating to take over the map or not.
Probably not. I think there is some like alerts, when the alerts go off. Oh my god, passionate lover. Okay, so passionate lover from Innie Elite. You should know better. He's in a Sunder, and he just used the gate diffuse and it failed. And he knows fine well you drive straight. You don't turn left or right. You make sure you've got 100% traction, and then it works. So anyway, regardless from that point, during alerts, I don't think people talk to each other. It's kind of like a subconscious thing. I don't think mercenaries...
So we have Frere. There's a hack on Frere at the moment. There's a hack on the Octagon at the moment. There's a hack on Ellie Forest Pass. So the Vanu are making some forward presence, as well as... And I believe there's a hack on the tech plant? Or what's going on in the tech plant? Is that just...
The tech plant is saved.
Okay, it's... So let's go to Frere and check out what's going on there. They have the Terran... aka Miller, has brought in quite a bit of air, which we knew that was going to happen. They need to get some points in the base.
They're outnumbered.
Yeah. They were trying to hold C, but the Vanu, I think, are re-securing that at the moment. Let's see. B, they're dropping down some squad beacons as well. They're trying to take down these shield generators, and the A point is theirs as well.
On the Charlie point for Miller.
Keeping this air advantage for them will be huge. It's going to allow them to keep the A point, no problem. It's also going to allow them to get a little bit more presence on the C and B points. But what they need to do is really be utilizing that air if that's what their plan is. Kind of figuring out where are the Vanu spawning at and keeping them like pressured within there, and dedicating less guys to the points and more to the pressure.
Yeah, I'm seeing like a squad at most, maybe 1.5. Yeah, in this any squad with maybe some Dick-T on the alpha capture point. But what's irritating me is that, and this could be an infantry resources thing, I'm not seeing any maxes. I'm seeing some maxes from out the spawn room for the VS.
A lot of engineers. I've seen let's see, who are the TR that are here? Can you tell who they are?
On alpha point, it's I think it's just a squad of any.
It's MSBS.
That's Miller server, best server. We had this conversation, remember?
Oh, that's right. So they don't actually have their name changed.
No, I can tell by some of the names what outfits are, because I'm more familiar with Miller people, but I don't know, man. I mean, A is held tenuously.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out
4-0
who they are.
Miller. He's in
okay.
as well.
Yeah, okay. So he's
a really good Prowler driver.
T-Luna,
Unfortunately, he doesn't have a tech plant to drive a Prowler.
Something Frog.
Oh, that's the Dick person.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like who they are by like hitting all the names.
I tell you what, if the VS, if they wanted to and they pushed out the spawn room, they could. Well, maybe A would be harder now. There's now got max support. 3 minutes for Miller to take the amp station. Okay, big push from VS coming out the shield gates. They're moving to the north east side of the base. They're trying to flank round into A. TR's on the balcony though, they've already spotted them, but the problem is there's a number of maxes. I don't know if they've got the force to stop the maxes. No, it's getting picked off. It's now maxes without any support, they're not going to go anywhere. You know what, Miller might get this. They might actually make it.
They need... Well, what we had to discuss before, right, was that they needed to get 2 main bases.
Or a bunch of small outposts. And the thing is that...
But the Vanu are already... Yeah, they're already putting
They're on the rear of
them.
Alpha. You know, because they're on the balcony area, or the turret, we're going to call it. Still need to drop down and move on it. As for Bravo... Oh, the Vanu's taking Bravo.
Yeah, Vanu just dropped on Bravo and took it.
That's a lot of Vanu and Bravo. Just push them off.
I'm going to move and check out some of these other bases that are being contested at the moment.
Core is being contested. There are no TR here, but it is a very long cap that the TR could always decide to come in and take back at the last moment.
It's mostly the Dasanfall crew. It looks like they're just having Alpha and Charlie here. And then they have their Delta and Bravo squad is separated onto the South Camp, I believe that's
population-wise.
Yeah, Southern Camp.
It's 50 to 48% population, so there's not a huge number of population. But when I'm looking at the map, I see that the TR is beginning to lose the Freyr fight, and they got 51%. They are losing Esamir Munitions Corps. They are losing Esamir Southern Camp. They are losing the Octagon. And they might get
I think
the
they're
bulwark.
resecuring the Octagon at the moment. Nope. Looks like Vanu have it again.
Oh, and that's beautiful. At the A point, the Vanu force that was on the turret, they're now got the high ground with the turret, and that's where the TR should be. Because they had air control, they should have been on the high ground of A. So now Maxes and Heavies are just shooting down on A, suppressing and keeping the TR inside the building, and now they're dropping a couple of Heavies on the point, and they're beginning to flip Alpha. So even though Tiers go Alpha and Charlie, they're beginning to lose Alpha. They need to take that turret. They can't just sit here all day. They need to push into that tower and take it back.
The Terran have a huge force at Bulwark.
55 to 45.
Yeah.
They should take it. And in theory, they should take Y.
They have 20 seconds left on the countdown. The Vanu are not making... They're not making a push at all. 0. No push at all. So this is gonna... They're gonna be able to take this capture point back.
Trying to figure out who's here. It's not any here.
I'll head
anymore.
back to Frere.
It's a different outfit. It's all using the same camo. Dig T possibly on the Alpha point. I'm wondering.
I'm thinking that the Vanu are sending in more support to Frere at the moment. It looks like Das Anfall sending some more troops that way. They've actually removed some of their troops from a different location, and they're sending like another full squad over to Frere. So I'm wondering if some of the other squads are also doing the same thing to help secure this area.
There's a large number of reinforcements from the spawn. I can see on the minimap streaming into Charlie. Wow, there's just a constant number of them. I don't think no, there's barely any TR numbers here. I don't know what outfit this is.
For which?
For Charlie capture point. There was only like one
Gotcha.
squad on Charlie, but they got zerged. I mean, I mean zerged by like 3 full squads.
They've lost their air presence too, so I'm surprised that the Vanu haven't taken the A point back, but it looks like they're putting down some squad beacons, and maybe they're going to drop down here in a short bit because they are taking the tower that's right next to.
Yeah, the towers are applying
right
a lot of
next to
pressure.
And it looks like a lot of them are having to kind of go back into these side buildings at the A point. And then we have...
ISIS Southern Camp is 40 seconds away from capping for the VS.
So
there doesn't look to be much TR down here.
But now they're finally losing Alpha.
Where are their spawn points? Let's see.
But Freyr?
Yeah.
They're using the hard points.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised the Vanu haven't kind of surrounded them a little bit more in those spawn points.
There's now finally a concerted push. They've taken Charlie, and the same force that took Charlie is pushing on A.
A is going to be flipped as soon as they get an infantry on it. There we go. They had a lot of maxes, so it was stuck as neutral for a bit there.
Some reinforcements from TR, I can't see some maps of loading them, but you know, they are in the double building on the other side of A, to the west side of
A. They have B.
It's still hotly contested, reinforcements for A, and the TR still got Bravo. It's only about 2 minutes if they get this capture point. I mean, it's not over yet. 2.5 minutes, here we go again. For 2 points
VS
for
has now
TR.
captured ISIS Southern Camp and completely protected their tech plant. There is no way that the TR can attack the tech plant without taking another base.
Very nice for them. That's perfect.
Bulwark
and they did
now.
that all with just, they just had 2 squads. They have 1 squad. Actually, I guess they secured a lot more. They put Alpha and Charlie over on Esamir munitions, and they've only sent Bravo to ISA. They actually sent their Delta squad to Frere, and I'm not sure where the rest of their crew is. It looks like a lot of them are at the Bulwark. I'm not sure which troops are over that direction.
I mean, Freyr is a very brutal fight going on, but the important thing is that it's 50-50, but if we look at the other points of the map, TR's now getting themselves Charlie, but they're losing A, but it's still heavily contested on A. Bulwark, they're vastly outnumbered, 70 to 30 numbers, and they're gonna... Although, TR's saving the base? What's going on here at Bulwark? I'll go have a look.
Bulwark was a very interesting fight when I was down there. They were just holding the A
Freyr
point.
is about to cap for the TR in 15 seconds.
Stay frosty. This fight is all
Because they got the 3rd point, that's why. Okay, so finally the VS have got themselves a Bulwark. They've got themselves A. We'll come back to that in a second.
The Terran are just trying their best to hold the A point.
Oh, there you go.
The Vanu
Nice
are coming up the
capture.
staircase.
Got Freyr. I mean, I'm surprised they got it back, that Mattherson let them take it back after they managed to get themselves set up. Yeah. What's the points now, with 16 minutes to go?
I'm looking at it right now, hold on.
And they're already putting pressure onto geothermal, it looks like. Let me check this. Yep. They already have a soldier that's on geothermal.
So Mattherson VS is 49 points. Miller TR is 42 points. It is a difference of 7 points right now.
Okay.
7 points and about 15 minutes left on the Can they win with 15 minutes left?
It's tough.
9
they would
points?
Need to.
They need to take a big base, right? Or
I think it's 3 or 4 small bases. 1 big base would work. I don't think they have connection anywhere to
No,
that. So it looks like you
needs
need to
to
look at
be-
small bases.
yeah.
Problem is they need to save the bulwark, and they have nobody there fighting. And then they need to save Esamir Munitions Corp, which looks like they're doing. They need to take.
Woo! There's a huge crew. Oh my god! Look how many infantry are going to the geothermal, like a bunch of little ants. So they have 1 Sunder that just deployed, and then just like a huge crew of infantry just rushed out of it. It was insane.
That is a foot zerg if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, what was funnier, it was like, you know, the clown car effect. It was like it just deployed and just like a bunch of people spawned out of it. It was really. I wish you would have got that on camera.
We're looking at them now. I think we've actually got the bunch of INI. Actually, I tell you what's happened is they've rotated platoons. This is the INI Elite platoon and a bunch of others that are in the north now. And maybe 2 platoons. I'll check the number of populations. It's hard to say.
This is a lot of guys.
There's a ton of VS at Freyr Amp Station. 48 plus. Have they got themselves a point? They do. They've got Charlie. Oh no! This is bad for Miller. This is really bad for Miller. They've got just enough people on Charlie, which means all the TR at geothermal useless. No point. Come home, guys.
But I thought that they had.
Because the only link is they don't have Rhyme Analytics or Raw Material Labs this time, so they have to go.
Yeah,
from
they
the
can't hack
station.
it. They had it earlier. They actually had it hacked earlier. So the Vanu must have re-secured it really quick and at the same time captured this. Yeah, they're all just kind of sitting around there going, now what?
Did you bring the rec tool? Did you bring the rec? Oh, sorry, the rec was the hacking tool in Planet 1. Sorry, this
So
when
as
you
a
drop in a
max,
tower.
I would always carry a rec in my.
But you just
max,
drop
just
it
in
for the
case.
guy.
Yeah,
yeah.
because like sometimes people would be dumb and they wouldn't carry one.
The
or
gal
they'd be
drop.
like a new player.
And everyone's CR5 and they all brought their CUDs, which is the command like divines, thinking, aren't you the hacker? No, I'm not the hacker. And then you're standing outside the tower because you can't get inside. Anyway, the Vanu force is pushing on Alpha now.
And the Terran force is also pushing on Charlie because they know.
They need to get back. They might as well redeploy. It's the fastest way. It doesn't look like they've got many maxes. Redeploy. Leave like one
I'm seeing
person.
a lot of TR coming back. They've kind of sparsed themselves out to different locations. They haven't gone for A yet, but they are definitely going for B and C at the moment.
This is just... And this is the thing. It's a little bit. Communication is key here. All of these TR forces that are staying on geothermal, they don't realize the sheer number of Vanu that are
Very
back.
nice. That Galaxy just took out that Mossy.
And the VS, by doing that, have made those TR waste their infantry points. All those maxes you have to redeploy, you lose those infantry points.
And the VS Air Force is now in force.
Yeah, they are sending their full Air Force to Freyr, which I think is a perfect move for them. I'm surprised that I'm just kind of shocked that they let the TR take Freyr. I thought they would have sent more forces to Freyr because it is worth so many more points than the other bases. But I guess they decided that having, I don't know, that forward presence, giving them a little buffer into ISO was better.
What they did instead was they completely saved their tech plant. Now
that's
there's
what I was
small
saying,
points
forward.
outside of it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they must have thought that that was like a better advantage.
Well, it's smart because all the other bases are just 1 point flips. The tier don't have a large point objective nearby because Octagon and Esamir Munition Corps are theirs. You know, they're large point kind of posts. So the only thing they can do to get a lot of points is to take a major facility, which there aren't any. So now it's all... In theory, the map is playing into Miller's hands. All they need to do is get smaller outposts. Once they get that single point, you know, they can just defend it really hardcore. But it seems that the Mattherson response is just bring 20 maxes and 20 guys. And you just hammer them really hard. And then the problem is Miller gets focused on the single cap point, don't control the outside, don't control the air and the vehicles, don't have multiple spawns that you see Mattherson doing, and then they lose out in the 4-minute time.
What I will want to say with the 240 v 240, air fights are insane. Like, I've just been watching this air fight ensue, and it's insane to me to watch. Like, the people who really have, you can tell that they've been working together for so long because you watch them kind of target together, and there must be some communication going on, versus like some of the some of the mosquitoes that are kind of running around, or you know, some of the sites that are kind of running around on their own, and they get kind of separated and taken out.
Looks like the Van Air Force has been cleared out though. I mean, they're on the low ground, and that's they're about to get picked off.
This Mossy swarm is just amazing. Like, I've been watching them throughout this whole match, and it's been fantastic watching them and seeing how they just dominate the air. But the problem is that once they dominate the air, I haven't really seen them being having their infantry to kind of
problem is
back them
all
up.
three capture points are in Vanu hands. Mattherson is going to take in less than 60 seconds the Freya ramp station again.
And this is what I was saying, just exactly that. You have this amazing air crew, but where are the infantry to come back them up and supply some ground troops in order to take the points while you're doing all this distraction in the air and getting rid of all the spawn points?
Oh, Justica's showing us how to do it. He's driven a Sundra onto the Charlie capture point. He's actually managed to get it in. That's quite impressive. Problem is, he has no infantry support. He's about to get C4'd. One
Huge,
C4, two C4.
TR crew rushing into the C point. They're going to take the C point back. Really good move for them. Let's see what's going on with B and A. A looks like it's still in the Vanu hands. B is going to be... What's going on in B? I'm going to move into the point. Looks like there's a very small crew of Vanu in the B point, so I think that they could take that back. Actually, I think the Terran could take this back if they're quick. How many seconds are left? I can't tell because the stupid mission system is being weird.
It's 80 seconds, and the problem is that the TR dropped with a lot of people, but they dropped from just 1 point with a lot of people. So they really captured C, but it's over since.
Yeah.
No, they're going to lose in 60 seconds.
Oh, this Liberator on the A point. He just completely obliterated all the Vanu.
Gunner needs to drop. Oh, he's
but
got
he gets
rocketed.
taken out by a Desi. Was that a Desi? Yeah, that was a Desi. Yeah.
I don't think they're going to pull this off. 46 seconds. They've got 1 point. Charlie's under heavy contention. They can't leave Charlie. Bravo's an absolute nightmare to take because the VS love it and it's the double building. If they're going to take anywhere, it's A. If you have Air Force right now, you tell them to fly to A.
Right? I thought that they would take the air out. I mean, they would take the A.
Not just that.
Quickly.
You would bomb it. You would come in. You'd strafe. You'd bomb. You'd drop, and you jump out, and you go land on the capture point. It's so desperate.
They could have taken B though too because there weren't a lot of soldiers on B. Like I think Vanu had like 4 guys on the B point, but it looks like Vanu's really putting pressure on the C point. They wanted.
Oh, they've got the base.
Back.
No. Oh man.
8 minutes remaining now as well.
There you go. What's the point situation now?
I am. It is
Doesn't
now,
look good. For me.
Yeah, I
We're
don't
back
think.
to square one again.
Yeah, I don't think that they can make it back from this. We have about 9 minutes left on the match.
Yeah, I don't know that there's enough points on the board that can cap fast enough.
And this is the problem, right? So Tier has overpop and Octagon. They have very high overpop in ISO Southern Camp. Maybe they're going to do like a last minute push for the tech plant. But now they've lost the amp station, I don't know. It's difficult.
Yeah, I think Mattherson, GG, very very nice.
Have a quick look
Let's
at
see.
the Wymere in the south.
Wymere was saved. I was just down there. There was a decent push down there, but the BS.
Yeah, they I think the Vanu were just like, no, we're gonna put a lot of our guys on Frere. We need to take this back to get that advantage of that 5 point base, which I think is a good move for them. They already have the security on the other one or on the tech plant. They had some forward presence at Ymir as well. So even though they lost a couple, I think they lost 1 base, right? They lost the bulwark. And southern Ymir southern reach is being contested, but the Vanu were able to resecure that no problem. It looks like they have a huge infantry force here. This is HM. Who is this? I'm trying to remember who these people are, because they like you said, they made like weird names for themselves that's similar to their
The
names.
originals, yeah, because there's a lot of people that don't play TR, so they've gone like such and such TR, or with, and it's like I kind of recognize that name.
So this is the Goku crew, and I believe it's also Hayabusa. So it's those two that came down to Ymir and resecured that area.
Yeah.
To me, from a strategic level, what I've seen the VS doing as opposed to the TR is the VS will let a base go almost to the end before they send exactly the right number of people to go
hammer it.
Take it. And
well, that's a smart move because then you're using your troops in other places. That's a lot smarter.
Yeah, and the TR have made some major pushes and then not resecured somewhere else. They've had 48 people sit somewhere and sat them there.
No, you're totally right.
They were sitting there for minutes, like minutes. I think the one point they were at the tech plant for like 2, 3, 4 minutes doing nothing while Frere Amp Station was being captured.
If I was to do like a really the ISO Southern Camp's been totally cleaned out. If I was to go with as you're saying, Maggie, you're right. When when Mattherson attacks, they have a lot of people and they set up immaculately. Lots of good spawns, lots of good, maybe harassers, engineer turrets, whatnot. And they don't just sit inside and huddle inside for warmth. They go outside and they hold the point. And conversely, on the defensive point of view, they don't fight over the point the whole 4 minutes. They just go in when they need to with overwhelming force, overwhelming maxes, one big punching force, and then they take the base back in one go. And it's working for them exceptionally well. Miller, on the other hand, they've got air control, they've got air dominance, but when they go for a capture point, they hold it for 50% of the time or 60% of the time, but they don't have enough, they're not set up enough to stop that one big push. And when they do attack, it just feels like they're committing too many numbers that do nothing for too long, and then they get counter-pushed by a big, overwhelming attack. So,
is this the first time we've seen somebody have overwhelming air superiority throughout the match, but not be on top of the match?
No, this happened before.
I mean, I've only watched one other match prior. I mean, not watched, but like been part of casting one other match, and so
the first time we did.
Yeah,
the first time we did a game, I think it was possibly in Houston or it was maybe Amrish. One team, and I forget who, pulled too much air. And it was just so much air, this was in the north of Amrish, the northern Amrish lane, that they didn't have enough people on the ground, and they lost. I don't know if this is an instance of too much air. This is a case of it's effective from the Miller guys, but the
Vanu are bringing in a large air crew. Where are they going? Is it Octagon? Is that where they're going?
Vanu are also trying to capture Freyr Network Compound and Freyr Substation, both of which can cap before the time is up, and I haven't seen the TR going to try and stop them over there.
Yeah, the TR have a couple troops that are at Munitions Corp, I noticed. And it looks like they're still in presence at the Bulwark and Southern Reach as well, but they're not really doing that much. They have a small presence also at Echo Valley, but I think the Vanu are clearing them out at the moment.
To say the least, there's about a platoon worth of maxes on this point right now. Yeah.
Don't really know what they're doing, but they're trying to do something. Let's see. I will also say that I've seen what I think the major problem for me watching this battle from Miller is that you have a great Air Force. We've seen some of your vehicles do some work, but the problem is that once you've cleared the area, you do need to get some infantry on those points, even if it's just one guy to get on those points, because often the Vanu would just be holding the points while they're clearing the area.
Another thing is that when Mattherson defends a point, right, the victory is so dominating and so complete that it takes the TR Miller forces so long to get back. It's like they have to then regroup and then move back. Whereas when Miller clears a point, it is only barely saves a base, but they still need to fight there to push the VS back. And therein lies the problem, that the VS can just constantly attack and constantly apply pressure. But when the VS defend a base, they're free to then instantly go somewhere else and don't have to worry about the fact that the timer is still relatively low if the TR came back quickly. It's similar to like when they saved the tech plant. I mean, that was a huge push on the tech plant when they took the capture point back. But how many of those people actually stayed there at the point to make sure the base was fully saved? I guarantee it wasn't anywhere near as many as what the TR had to do.
Well, for sure. I think that at the tech plant, I'm just going to fill you in on what was going at the tech plant. Primarily, at the tech plant, in the mid section of the map, you had the DA forces. That was primarily what I saw there. Once in a while, like at the end, whenever they were doing that massive resecure after they captured Freyr, we did see Goku and a couple other crew members come in and help out. But I think most of like Goku, who are these other guys that were down there? Hayabusa I saw down there. I believe there were some Goater guys. I couldn't really tell who all was down there. Was down at Ymir Biolab, and then up at the top you had like the NNG crew. You had I believe I saw Clan Magnus down there a little up there as well, and a 903rd Marauders. So they kind of separated all these different troops into all these different sections, and they're like, you guys are dedicated to here, we'll call you for backup if we need you. But they were really smart with the communications. I don't know what was going on the TR side, because they all have like the same names and I couldn't really tell who they were.
Yeah.
I guess you'd have to talk on that front, Farah.
To put icing on the cake, the VS managed to capture Freyr substation before time was up. There is no other base on the board that can be captured in time.
Plus, they're
so
getting Southern as well. Yeah, I was watching Southern right now, and the fight that's going on, it's going back and forth. But
now there's like a huge infantry crew just like running muck. Yeah, they're just foot circling across with armor columns at their side.
I wonder if Miller's also shot themselves in the foot tactically, because I know that of the 5 platoons, the 5th platoon was actually a mixed match of, you know, Miller's finest air guys, right? And that's interesting. That may be fine. Oh, Higby's celebrating.
Yeah,
so,
he's turning.
But my point is that because there's 5 platoons, 4 platoons are all heavy, you know, like to fight on the point infantry. The 5th platoon being air guys, how effective are they when they fight as a team on the ground? You know, kind of mixed match of different outfits. True. Alert ended. There you go. Time is up. Congrats, Mattherson. Can we get a final score report, please, Verlin?
The final score is VS with 55 points. That is Mattherson, and Miller TR with 36 points, a difference of 19 points.
Thank you very much. Show you the map at the end. So just to recap the map, while we get all the interviewers in for the end, is in the south, Mattherson was able to take the biolab, Weimar biolab, when it was neutral. They were able to critically also push Weimar's southern reach in a very hot and closely contested fight, and after that it didn't really progress much in the south. In the beginning, TR was able to take Octagon and keep Octagon, but they weren't able to push further on into Echo Valley Substation, East River, Cero. It didn't go anywhere. Amazingly, the VS took ISA Tech Plant literally uncontested. Literally uncontested. There was no one there from the TR to really stop it. And then in the north, Rime Analytics and Aurora Material Labs, it looked like the TR was doing really well in the north. But they couldn't get Freya Geothermal Plant. And then finally, when they did get Freya Geothermal, the VS had stabilised, taken back Aurora Material, taken back Rime Analytics, and then it was just a straight up frontline fight. And the fact is, the VS were able to gradually push and take the geothermal, then take the amp station, and it went back and forth, and then finally they took the substation and were contesting the network compound. So USA wins, I guess, Maggie, or North America.
Okay.
Yeah. And with what was the final score again?
52 to 37.
No,
you guys both
55 to 36.
55 to 36.
I'm gonna call everyone to the interview channel.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, guys. Lou, you're on all call here. The squad leaders and force commanders can jump back into the interview channel. We'll wrap this up, and we'll announce the scores. I'll move us down once we start getting in there.
We have a lot of sky whales flying above Freyr. I think Tier.
That's just, because they're ready to do their whale fight.
No, they're just ramming each other. They're doing a pre-whale ramming.
It's mating season.
To me, it just seemed Mattherson outmaneuvered Miller for that last hour.
Yeah, it was a case of maybe their outfits had more squads to be more organised, but to me, as you said, it looked like they were using their numbers more effectively.
Yes.
Point was under contention. They waited until the last minute, then hit it extremely hard as an organised team. And when they were attacking a base, they got to that base, and in that first minute and a half, both factions, when they were attacking a base for a minute and a half, had all the time to set up how they wanted to. Case in point, the tech plant at the beginning. Mattherson set up immaculately. Lots of harassers and set up. And there was some attack from the TR trying stopping it, but the setup was just so good, and the attack force that tried to stop the TR tech plant capture was too weak. Conversely, when it was the other way around, and it was the TR that was on the point, the setup was too weak. They had the tower, the vehicle terminals. They didn't have any extra vehicles. They didn't control the outside. And when the VS attacked, they hit really hard. I mean, it must have been like 20 maxes that attacked in this, the waves, with all the support that went with it.
Okay, I'm going to drag us down to the interview channel, and we'll get started.
Well, good games, everyone. Good games.
Let me a sec. Awesome fight, guys. It's really interesting.
Very GG.
I I hope everybody enjoyed themselves and had a decent fight. The two force commanders we had was our Tiger and Comrade. How do you guys find putting your forces against each other? Is there anything that you guys would have done differently, or did the fight go to plan?
This is KV. For the most part, things went very, very well to plan. Platoon leaders were completely up to spec, and everyone listened to orders perfectly.
And from Miller's side, Tiger, you're here?
Yeah, I'm here.
How did it go from...
I think generally at the start it went to plan. Went very well to plan, actually. We managed to put them under pressure at Sierra Listening Post, which was our kind of initial objective. But our inability to capture Firearm Station and secure it properly came back to hit us really badly at the end. We ended up spending a lot of time trying, fighting over Firearm Station rather than being able to push them in different directions. Coupled with the inability to coupled with the fight at Esamir not going our way, it meant that we were kind of Mattherson had the upper hand in terms of being able to defend the major facilities rather than having to attack them.
It did seem like that. Miller's movement was very good for the first hour, but that second hour, Mattherson just seemed to take it into another gear. And the troop redeployment and movement and troop assignment was spot on. It was really great. It was really nice to see. So, massive shout outs and kudos to both of the force commanders. Casters, is there anything you'd like to add?
Well, did you guys rotate your platoons at all? You had 5 platoons to work with. Were they all assigned set areas and that's where they stayed, or were you moving them around all the time?
For the most part, they stayed on their assigned lanes, but we did rotate as needed, mostly in the second hour.
Yeah, it's the same for Miller. So we had platoons with their own kind of objectives, but when it came to the second hour, when it came to really trying to attack various facilities, we were bringing units together to get our larger forces.
While you guys were playing, I know it's really hard to keep a track of what the points were. We were doing little tallies on the stream, and it was a 1-point game, literally up to the 1 hour marker. It was super close, and then just slowly Mattherson was just chipping away. It wasn't like a landslide. It was just a little base, and then another little base, and another little base. I mean, our Tiger, did you know that was happening? Did you try and change it around? What did you feel was the issue?
I think, like I said, because we captured Firearm Station at the start, and we had a nice little fight going at your raw materials lab, but because we were kind of unable to hold down Firearm Station, I don't know what units of Mattherson kept on going to see point at Firearm Station, but well done. You were being a real pain in the ass.
That was NNG.
Yeah, well done to them. They held up a lot of our forces. And I think kind of that inability to hold down Fryer, push Fryer geothermal, and then push through to raw materials. Because of that, we then couldn't free up any spare forces on any of the other areas. So, I mean, the fights around Isotech plant went pretty well to plan. I mean, we ended up with the Octagon and Esamir munitions still, which is 2 bases we didn't want to lose. But, yeah, because we couldn't secure Firearm Station, we ended up just having to pump numbers into it defensively.
Sure. One of the other things that me and Maggie were talking about, out of curiosity, as your task force makeup was, on the Miller side, we know that every squad or every outfit got 1 squad, 12 people, right? How was the makeup for the Mattherson team? I mean, did you give some outfits 2 squads? Did some outfits have more? I mean, what did you guys do there? And do you feel it gave you an advantage that certain outfits had more people to play with as a team?
We based it off of initial signups, which gave a couple of outfits the ability to bring 2 squads rather than 1. And unfortunately, locked out some folks who had interest in the latter half of these signups, but I feel it did give us an advantage as some of those outfits worked together and they were able to bring more numbers, and as it showed, pretty good teamwork.
Out of curiosity, who was the first Miller squad to attack the tech plant at the start of the game? Who? What outfits?
I wouldn't actually know. I'd have to check with Baptist.
Just because I'd love to know their opinion of walking in there and then all of a sudden finding 4 to 6 PPA harassers sitting on top, spamming the doors.
This is another thing that we were.
It was beautifully dirty. I'd love it.
I think generally speaking, we had 2 platoons working. So we had one platoon leading in the center, and kind of the outer ring of bases around there was being dealt with by another platoon. So I have no idea who went in there first, but yeah, I do remember hearing something about PPA spam. Following
up from what he said, from what Alleluia said, us the casters, and admittedly we have the general's top-down view, and it's really easy to to say it as it's happening, and even to be Captain Hindsight. But we felt that Mattherson was deliberately not going to base when it was under contention, and then when they decided to go there, they would go there extremely hard, extremely overpop, and then just push off the TR forces. Conversely, we felt that when the TR were going there, they were going there with maybe the right, maybe 50-50 numbers, but the main difference was that on the attacking side, you have that first precious 90 seconds of setup, right? And we felt that Mattherson did a really good job at setting up. When they were going to attack a base, they got set up. They had good engineer placements. They had good, harassers with, PPAs and whatnot. And they set up properly. But when we saw, let's say, the TR go after the tech plant, as just one example, you had 90 seconds. You had the vehicle terminals. There was no harassment, yet you didn't get vehicles out. You didn't get, extra stuff. You didn't have lots of outside sunders, or you didn't control them outside the building. It was all inside. And it just felt as if maybe your preparation wasn't as good, and then that's why. Because at one point you were like 60 seconds away from taking the tech plant. You were really close, but the first setup was really bad. I don't know if maybe that's something you may be working for next time, or were you aware of? Mainly at Tiger there. It's just different outfits playing different ways. That's just what we're getting at.
Playing different ways. The issue was that when we started capping the octagon, we ended up, I don't know if Mattherson was intentionally doing it or not, but they also started capping Octagon and Esamir Munitions Corp. The Octagon's hard to cap because it's 7 minutes, and you can't obviously leave it alone for 7 minutes. But, we had to throw our numbers around different places.
Do you feel, sorry, last question from me, right, and if anyone else wants to jump in questions, go for it. Do you feel that Higby was playing for the other team and they were being assisted by the SOE god? Was that maybe something against you? Do you think they were touched by the devs?
You were changing the skies and making us all dizzy.
I don't know about that.
Guys, don't tell them about the double damage that Higby gave us.
Right. I sent a Reddit thread incoming.
There's probably a few bugs on the test server which played more into Vanu hands than they did TR hands. And the populations, I have no idea if it was just randoms or not, but the populations didn't favour the TR either.
Sure. Well, last questions, otherwise we'll wrap this up. Anyone got anything?
I know I'm pretty dry for questions. Go on, Dots.
I'll answer your question. Well, ask your question first, and I'll go into my little propaganda.
No, just hit propaganda. Do it.
Fair enough. I post a link every single time, but they should be there for the world to see. The website, join it. Help us make a better community. The ServerSmash subreddit, join that. Let us know what you think. Suggestions, feedback, comments, questions, that kind of thing. Just join the Reddit, get a discussion going, and just let us know what you think, basically, so that in the future we can, maybe roll out something a bit more better. There's only going to be a few more matches, and then we're going to actually go into an administrative break for like 2 to 3 weeks, where we're actually going to take a step back, start our own organisational structure, roll out with some more, not rules, but more of a ground rules and how we do things, so that when we do go live again, it'll be a better experience, especially for us at an organisational scale. But on that note, thank you very much to the people who have made this match possible tonight. Negator from Mattherson, and Justicia and Seb from Miller, obviously the casters and all the other support staff. My inbox has been going crazy because people asking me to do this and that, and but yeah, having finally had a chance to actually play in a ServerSmash rather than setting the Twitch chat, I can say I fully fucking hell. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you did too, despite, you know, either the lag for Miller or whatever bugs there was. But yeah, join the website, join the forum, you know, ServerSmash.
Give us your feedback as well on the point system, the way that we ran this, what you felt went well, what you felt didn't go well, that kind of stuff. Because it's very helpful for us, you know, because at the end of the day, although we stream this and we cast this for people to watch, it's more so for the players that take part. You know, it's having a good fight, that's what really matters.
Okay guys, I think that's really everything. So before we wrap up, massive shout out to Anycast as always, guys. Follow Anycast. They cast a couple of things now and again. Follow them on Twitch. You'll get a little email when they go live. You've also got PS2_pickup, I believe it is on Twitter. Follow that for all pickup and ServerSmash news. You've also got our subreddit, which has been shouted, which is /r/ServerSmash. All information gets posted on there. If you need to keep up to date, that's the best place to look. There's also all the information is in the sidebar for all your reps, your contacts, who runs this, and schedules. They also take a link to our forums, which is ps2-pickup.engine.com. Again, as it was sign up to it, talk to it. There's a couple of threads going on there. That's where all the organisation happens. Massive shout out to always the people who watch. I think we had 360 people. No, 381 viewers today. So cheers, guys. Mattherson, brilliant to have you for your second game. Miller,
better luck next
thank
time.
you for showing up again, and better luck next time.
Thanks, guys. I'm going to do the outro.
Guys.
Nice to see you all, and thanks for all playing.
Thanks, this was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Good luck, Thomas.
Nano's looking forward to the next one.
Thank
you guys very much for running this.
Can you force rules?
Yeah, thank you really much for giving us a chance to participate.
You guys at Freya, holy Christ, you know how to hit an amp.
Yep.
You at Fred Geo as well, just pumping a full platoon right at that point. Just
we actually had 3 platoons.
What?
The last Freyr hit was 3 platoons.
We just one on each point.
We felt it. We definitely felt that.
Don't mess around, baby.
Well, Mattherson, where was all your